Welcome back to AFC Fylde, Still We Rise on Football Manager 2020. I'm Charlie and this is episode 14. Following our last edition where we had a bit of a snoop around the save, we had a look at the league tables, the available jobs, and of course we saw new staff in Ian Durant and Alan Smith arrive on non-contract terms. This episode is the big one. It's Barnet away, the Hive, the top two in the National League, with top spot at stake for the winner. If we can draw, I don't play for a draw, but if we did draw, I would not be unhappy with that. As you can see, in terms of the expectation, the board wants to reach the playoffs, which is perfectly fine by me, considering that we're 15 points clear of Notts County. The FA Cup expectation was to reach the first round. We're in the second round, and we get underway in the FA Trophy midway through December. In terms of our team sheet for the Barnet game, it's pretty much the one that we're all familiar with, except Nick Horton comes in for a bit of energy in midfield beside Tom Walker. Lewis Montrose is rested. He can't play that many games in succession. So Crowsdale is our defensive midfielder. And in goal, this is a bit of a risk, I'm going to give Dan Lavercombe a run. James Montgomery has played 16 games now. Lavercombe hasn't played any in the league. So we're going to have a look at him because his contract runs out at the end of the season and we need to know whether he's worth renewing and keeping round. As there's no way I'm going to keep hold of Sam Hornby, who's on loan from Bradford. I just don't get excited when I see him. Decent player for most Vanarama national sides. No. So, we are off to the Hive, and it's another one where we will have our fingers crossed. As we did in our first game of the season at Chesterfield, and that went alright. So, let's hope we get the same result. It has been quite a quiet week in the National League. The only midweek fixture, which is rare for the National League, saw Solihull Moors pick up a win. Let's encourage our boys, give them a morale boost. No reaction whatsoever. After a few weeks where Kenny's done well with his team talks, it seems to have gone a little bit awry. Let's go straight into the kickoff. Barnet playing a 4-4-2 in this one. We'll just begin by encouraging our boys. That's it. I've played a few sides that have sported a 4-4-2 in recent weeks. It's an interesting contrast to our 4-3-3, which have been peddling all season, and at some point will require a bit of freshening up. I've been reading a lot about how the AI learns your tactics and starts to get around them. Now that we're getting towards the midpoint of the season, I suspect that is around now. Especially because we're playing some really big clubs in the coming weeks. I mean, Barnet are popping it around there like cocky footballers from Barnet. In the last few games, we have raced away with shots on goal, but it's just not happening here. I would put that down to the strength of the opposition. But we do need to be getting the ball forward. Letting Jamie Proctor just test Scott Loach. Get a few sights of goal. In fact, that might be a change that we make as Ebbs Fleet go 1-0 up away at Sutton. Just going to change the instructions for Jamie Proctor. Let's see if it'll let me do that. There we go. I want him to shoot more often. Let's confirm, and back to the action we go. I think it might be an idea just for us to get a few shots off. You know, let's find out if they're actually watertight or not at the back. But this is probably the most disappointing start that we've had to a game in the entire series. Kyle Jameson picks up a booking, that's going to rule him out of the next game. And then we go 1-0 behind. From the foul that he gave away, Paul McCallum has put Barnet in front. And even though I did not do this game in episode 13 because I thought it would be bad luck, that's awful defending. Yes, there may well be people extending their arms in dismay. Jameson will indeed miss the next game following his booking. That's his 5th of the season. But it just means that we'll turn to Alex Whitmore to replace him in the starting lineup. And I'm wondering about Nick Horton's position, but we've been given a penalty. Proctor pushed over by Dan Sweeney. And despite Scott Loach going the right way, Proctor gets the ball underneath him. Underneath or over? Out of his reach. For his 10th goal of the season. And now we have the ball. Yeah, of course. We've given it away. Oh, and that is a narrow effort wide. Josh Walker was offside. I don't think he was to know that, and neither was Dan Lavercombe, who made an impressive save low down. Half time, here we go. We've got the shots back up. I'm fairly sure that wasn't to do with me telling Jamie Proctor to have more of an effort. Yeah, I was going to bring Nick Horton off anyway, and that red line reaction to the team talk has pretty much confirmed it. Bradders, Dan Bradley, is on in his stead. The scouts at the club and the coaching staff, they do like Nick Horton. He blows a bit hot and cold as far as I'm concerned. Ideally, I'd like somebody that's quite solid alongside Tom Walker. Perhaps I need to look at adjusting that position. In a perfect world, we'd probably play Lewis Montrose and Ryan Crowsdale in the same team, with Walker ahead. It's a possibility. But that free kick is quite wide from Sparks. Failed to light at the minute. Somebody could get a foot in, that would be nice. Just a tackle. Yep. If you're not going to put a tackle in, we're not going to get the ball back. And Daniel Sparks, who I may have just mocked for his free kick effort, fires Barnet back in front. Just failing to get stuck in. Absolute failure. We're going to see this again, I assume, for the offside. Well, no, there's a good couple of yards in it. And we drop down to second position yet again. I feel like we should chase this one. Let's not just let it go. But what change do we make? Phylliskirk is the obvious solution. I mean, Jordan Williams, 6.3. And so's Taylor. What's normally a really productive left wing for us isn't doing it. Let's put Yates in as his preferred inside forward role. Just going to encourage the boys one more time. And hope that we can turn this round. That is some better play. Let's see what Yates can do. He gives it us away as well. But we're back here with Croasdale. And Proctor finishes. And low and hard, his 50th league goal of an distinguished career. He's now got 11 for the season. The assist coming here from Ryan Croasdale. Out on the left. And Proctor low and hard past Scott Loach. I'm not sure if that change did work because Yates originally gave the ball away and we had to recover it. But better be a lucky manager than not. And there is a cracking goal from Mark Yates. It has worked out. Am I a managerial genius? I did bring him on. Oh, it's an unstoppable hit. Assist by Bradders. Things that you love to see. A substitution paying off handsomely. All we have to do now is hold on. What's the earliest that I can shut things down? I don't think it's as we flick over to 75. I would rather give it at least until 80. But there are encouraging signs. I don't like highlights where they just ping ball the ball back and forward. You're never quite sure who it's going to stop at. Although, almost inevitably, it is our opponents. And is that a penalty? Josh Walker pushed by Kyle Jameson. What are you doing, Jamo? But Lavercombe with the save. Oh, well played. What a great decision to change goalkeepers. Low down to his left. He got down there like a panther in that situation. Made sure that the striker wasn't there to pick up the scraps. All we have to do is hold on. 80 minutes. Right, let's play anti-football. We are going defensive. We are passing to feet. No overlaps. We're not working the ball anywhere. Passing direction is indeed much shorter. Keep hold of the ball. Tempo is low. Time wasting maximum. You're not running at the fence, you're dribbling less. In fact, I'm going to take it off. But they should be more disciplined. Attacking width. Leave it at narrow. In transition, slow the pace down, goalkeeper. Out of position. Out of possession, even. We're going to drop the defensive line as we're usually quite high. And we're going to just lower the line of engagement for the forwards. Don't use the offside trap. Get stuck in is ticked. Brilliant. Let's stay on our feet. Pressing intensity, yeah, let's leave that there. And tighter marking, you're fine. So, the other change that we can make is, let's sacrifice Proctor. I mean, this is anti-football. By putting on a defender as a defensive midfielder. It feels wrong, but I also want these 3 points. We're also just going to pull Yates and Kozolo back. Put him as just a normal winger with a support duty. Kozolo, let's clip his wings somewhat. So nobody is on an attack duty. I think we'll also just remind the players, if we can, to concentrate. I'll probably get some flack in the press for taking off Jamie Proctor when he was on 2 goals. Oh, and this is a bad sign for them to be attacking already. They're through and in big numbers. End the highlight. We're not ending highlight. They're coming again. Lavacum with another save. We might have to rely on him for these remaining 7 minutes plus extra time. Clear the ball. That's what we want. Oh, it's down in our area again. Look at that. Kyle Jameson. What a mistake. Clear the ball. Look at him down here. Right, the pass is on straight up here. There were 2 in a line. Oh, that is a sucker punch. An absolute sucker punch. Considering that we were playing anti-football, drilling our side in the dark arts. And Kyle Jameson not only gave away the penalty earlier that Lavacum had to dig him out of with a fantastic save, he's picked up a yellow, meaning he's suspended for next week, and he's just given the ball away, allowing Paul McCallum to get ahead of his man and slot home. Oh, it's like a dagger to the heart, isn't it? What was he thinking? No, we're not doing any damage whatsoever here. Of course we're not, because I told them to pack it in, to shut the shop, which is what we should have done. And thank the Lord that's been disallowed. Paul McCallum for pushing another player. It's 3-3. It's a draw. I'm going to have to take it, aren't I? I say I'm going to have to take it. I don't restart, so I would have to. And that includes, by the way, I once got to the FA Cup final with Swansea in a series that was actually in part sponsored by a Swansea sponsor at the time. And I could have replayed the final. I could have made sure we won. But that's not how I roll. And as a result, we remain top by 2 points. But that gap back to 8th has shrunk ever so slightly. Fylde are enjoying life with Tango. That's correct. Talkative manager. I answer the questions put in front of me, mostly. It's 15 victories in 20 games. I always like to look at social feed just as we finish off. You know, that's just brings you back down to earth. And there you go. Jonathan Marshall straight away. Yeah, we're not good enough. Thank you. Your contribution is most welcome. And you, the viewer, are also most welcome. So that was episode 14. Next time, we're back in the FA Cup. We're back against lower league opposition. It's Gloucester at the Jubilee. If we get through this one, who knows what riches await in the third round. I mean, most likely it's going to be somebody like Grimsby that's just going to dump us out. But there is the hope that we can draw an Arsenal, a Liverpool, a Manchester United. Who knows? And all the better if we can bring them back to Mill Farm. I shall see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.